good morning, everyone. I want to welcome today all our audience on Zoom and on Facebook. I have today with me a new guest, Omar Momtaz. He is a very old friend of mine, and we went all over the world and we met again by chance. And now here he is. He is based in Montreal, and I am based in Halifax, in Nova Scotia. So we are going to talk today about understanding the digital tools in understanding the competitive advantages and how to do a competitive analysis. So Amar, thank you so much for being with me today here.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate it. Um,
You're
I,
welcome.
I am really looking forward for a great discussion. I know that we've been anticipating this discussion and this webinar for a while. And so today, rather than me doing all the introduction, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience first, and then I will take it from there.
Well, good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Omar Momtaz. I'm an IT and technology professional since like 20 years. Started with Orange, France Telecom in Lebanon, then worked in Saudi Arabia in innovation, smart cities, digital transformation, and then moved to Montreal where I co-founded the Blink. It's a startup using natural language processing, and we specialized in advisory service in the field of external intelligence, digital market intelligence, how to help individuals and organization use innovative tools to remain on the edge of the knowledge in their industry, and how to capture external weak signals and be ahead of anyone else in innovation and adopting new ideas.
So thank you, Amar. I am really excited to start this discussion. However, I always, before I start, I like to thank all the time our platinum sponsors, Agora Office Space. This is where we are broadcasting live every week from our location in Bedford in Nova Scotia, and our strategic partner, the Chartered Institute of Marketing Management of Ontario. It's an organization which I am proudly part of, and I am happy to have them here with us as strategic partners. So having said this, Samar, I think we need to kick off the discussion and start understanding better how can I beat my competition in a digital environment and a digital era, right? And this is where you specialize.
Yeah.
So why don't we start before, going into the technicalities? Tell us a little bit about why it is important to have this kind of competitive analysis and competitive watch, especially in the what I would call the during or post-COVID. I don't think that we are post-COVID yet, but why all this is so important today?
Well, we've seen in the last, let's say, 3 years, real acceleration of globalization. Things and supply chains are totally imbricated in each other. Anything that is happening on the planet is directly affecting our daily life. COVID is an extreme example, of course, but we have other examples that happened recently and had direct implications on us. We will talk to them maybe after some questions, but one recent example is the boat that was stuck in Suez Canal. The other example is the problem in microchip supplies. Any business owner, any even individual who really wants to look ahead and be ready and as much prepared as possible to bad surprises or good surprises that could be created by the environment in which he's working, he needs or she needs to be to collect information. This is something we all do at different levels on daily basis. We listen to the news, we watch TV, we read the news feed on social media. This is general activity done by everyone else. But if you want to gain an edge compared to your competitors, you need to really get the information before them and get a better quality information. And this is where technology can help. The technology can help you, first of all, identify the right sources of information, and then systematically go and capture the information. Now, before you define those, you need to assess yourself, assess your needs. What kind of information do I really need to perform? How can I get these information? And how can I structure this information, whether it's for my own personal consumption as an individual or for my corporation or organization. For this, we have, in our experience in the field, we have identified three types or stereotypes of clients or of information consumer. The first type is an individual or a organization which is concentrated on an activity, its own activity. It has a clear supply chain, a clear set of supplier, a clear set of clients. Usually they are B2B organization, and they just need to keep on doing their work. They need to avoid bad accidents, avoid bad news, and have what if plans should any disruptive event affect their daily work. So those are, I would say, the traditional type. Heavy industries, large organization, expert like accountant who have already a portfolio of client, and they just need to stay informed and prevent any disruptive event that would come. Those people would look for, let's say, 75% of their information from well-known, well-defined sources. So it's a repetitive information gathering. They have newsletters, they have subscriptions, they have the websites which are considered as reference in their industry, and they go and gather 75% of their information from those sources, and the rest 25% they would look 360 degree around them, just to look ahead a little bit and see if any disruption is coming, say from a regulation authority or from disruptive innovation in the industry. So they just need to be prepared, but this will not affect their daily activity. So those are the traditional, I would say 75 traditional sources of information, 25% new or undefined yet sources of information. We have the different part, or the second part category, which are always on the watch. Those are the innovative persons or organization, the investors, venture capitalists, finance experts, let's say R&D individuals. Those people are always looking for new opportunities. They are always looking for innovation. They are looking for the right idea in order to take it, adopt it, develop it, or transform it into business. Those will look 75% outside their zone, let's say, and only 25% for sources of information which directly affect their business. So these are people on the watch. They are hunter, and they need really a performant digital tool to let them capture large amount of information, yet select what kind of information would be useful to them. It's a very difficult exercise because you need to look in different markets, in different universities, in different countries, and capture the idea that would really add value to your business.
Wow,
The third one, yeah.
sorry, Omar, this is really amazing. When I see that you are able to categorize and see that we have different profiles of people for different needs, then we will probably talk about the different tools and the frequency and what you have to look for. Now, since you mentioned at the beginning a couple of industries that were disrupted recently, First, let me launch the poll for our audience that is here on Zoom, just to gather some information from them. And then we'll dig deeper into these different examples which you gave us. And then we'll explain what was the impact and what we could have avoided if we had the information, right? So
Yeah,
I
sure.
will be launching the first poll now. So please, for our audience who is on Zoom, take a minute to answer these questions. And meanwhile, Omar is going to continue to tell us about the third category. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah. So the third category is the average of the first two. So it's the small and medium enterprise, a consultant in IT, in design, architecture, construction. Those people, they do have a well-established activity. They do have a well-established portfolio of product and services, and a well-established portfolio of clients. So they have business as usual approach. They need to stay aware of what's going on in their industry, but in the same time, in order to grow, to capture new clients, or to improve their supply chain, they will look outside. So they will have this 360-degree radar, capturing information, not necessarily within their industry, but also affecting their industry. So if we talk about construction, let's say a small or medium construction company is looking for contracts. They have the sources of RFPs and government projects. They have relationship with the large real estate developers, but in the same time, they need to stay aware of the latest technologies used in the construction industry. We're talking about the digital twin. We're talking about 3D scanning of building, the latest construction software. So they need to have a 50-50 balance between well-defined traditional sources of information affecting their business, and in the same time, the innovation and new opportunities, projects that are exceptional in the city or in the country they are in, and a large merger and acquisition that would affect, let's say, the real estate industry or the construction industry. So this is how we saw that the clients could be categorized, and based on this, we have a specific approach to each of this category, and specific tools, of course, to help them cover everything they need to cover in order to stay ahead and find new opportunities in the same time.
Wow, this is really great. So I am sure that competitive analysis and a competitive how to say understanding of the competitive landscape is really something that is becoming more and more important, especially in this period where we are all working in a way remotely online. We minimize this kind of interaction, so it's very hard to hear anymore what the competition is saying from people that you meet around different events, right? So now you need to be more vigilant about this. So now I am ending the poll results, and let me tell you what we had. So the first question was, have you ever heard about TSMC? 80% said no, 20% said yes. Have you ever heard about Ever Given? 80% said no as well.
Wow.
Have you ever lost a business opportunity only to say afterward, I should have known? 80% said yes.
Okay.
Right? It's amazing. And how many mandatory source of information do you monitor weekly? We have 60% who said 5 to 10, and 40% said between 0 and 5. Right? So I think this is very interesting. And I want you to elaborate in 2 minutes about each of these cases, the TSMC and Ever Given, because they are so recent.
Yeah.
And it is very interesting about why people said that we didn't hear about them, right? Whereas if we did a competitive watch, we should have definitely understood who they are and what they are doing. So let's start with the TSMC, and then we'll talk about the Ever Given.
Okay, the TSMC is one of the largest microchip producers in the world. So this is a very highly concentrated industry. There are maybe 4 companies who do the very basic microchip, which is the base of everything we are using today. From the mobile to the car, everything has microchips. It's been like 3 weeks now. Most of the automotive industry manufacturers have stopped manufacturing. They have all the components of the car except the microchips, because there was a problem with this company, and it disturbed the supply chain. This company is based in Taiwan. So what happened now? This is one of the consequences of COVID-19. The car manufacturers did not put enough orders with this company for the market bounce after the COVID. So now they have the cars, but they don't have the microchips. Today, this is an alert because only Samsung and TSMC can supply the industry with those microchips. Let's suppose there's something on the security or military dimension in Taiwan. What would happen? Who among the manufacturers, from IT to telecom to mobile to cars to refrigerators, everything today has microchips. Who had a plan B or what if scenario? Who has enough stock of microchips that would allow him to continue production and sales if for any reason there's a big problem in between China and US on Taiwan and the supply is really disrupted? So this is TSMC. I advise you to have a look on the internet and to see how 2 giants, that's Samsung and TSMC, control maybe 70 to 80% of the microchip industry in the world. This is one example. A second example, I'm sure you did not see the difference between Ever Given and Evergreen. Ever Given is the name of the boat which was stuck in Suez Canal in the last 2 weeks, I think.
Yes.
Ever Given is the name of the company operating this boat. So people most likely did not make the distinction between Ever Given and Evergreen. If you are in Europe or in Asia or in Dubai or in Africa, North Africa, your business has somehow been affected by this incident in Suez Canal. This is also another alert. Today, those 2 alerts came from business or accident, but it could be easily political issues that would cause much more important disturbance or disruption in the supply chain. So every company working in any industry who has components coming from China or from India should have a plan B and should have enough inventory to secure its production if anything could happen. And anything could happen, there are tools to detect any noise, small noise that comes in any industry before it becomes the main story. Those digital tools will help you detect at a very early stage what's being built up as a story and what would be noise and what would be the real event that you need to account for in your business. What was the third
No,
question
that's
in the
it.
poll?
These were the two ones. And,
Okay.
actually, what now is coming to my mind is that as professional, as a business owner, no matter if you are an entrepreneur, a startup, or a huge organization, you always need to have the tools that are going to give you the right type of information. And we are all super busy. We don't have the time to read every morning the 15 different sources of news, right? And sometimes we're going to miss a portion of the news, especially if it is not on the main page, right? And the question is, tools and solutions that like the ones you are providing with BLINKLOGICS, and then later we're going to discuss a little bit more in details about what you're doing, are really the right tools to just give us the alerts and the filters of keywords and topics which we really want to have in the business, that are going to help us to make the right decisions, right, and avoid disasters, or try to know what the competition is doing, right? Like, for example, when a competitor or a vendor is announcing about a new project, right, you would understand where their direction is, where they are going for the next 3 to 5 years. And then if you could be a potential supplier to them, this is the right time to start knocking on the door, right? And this is, you could never know it if you don't have this kind of alerts. So this is what is really coming to mind after you explained all this to us.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know that we have some ecosystem, and you know, when we were preparing for this session, we were talking about this ecosystem, which I am putting now here on the screen, right? Can you talk a little bit about it so that it helps us better to get external intelligence to our business?
Yeah, sure, sure. I'll talk about each point with a small example when available. You know that at least in democracies, government and regulators issue a new regulation after consulting with the industry, after consulting with the population. Those consultancies, those falls sometimes, if it's a municipality, let's say, having a new project, a new sports center or a new mall within the community, those discussions come first in the local newspaper. So today, if let's say you are a contractor and you need to find the opportunities of new sports centers or school projects within the country, the whole country, those discussions come first in the local newspapers. Who has the time or the capability or the human capacity to cover all the local newspapers of a country, let's say like France or Italy, and know exactly which municipality is considering adding an infrastructure, or which town is looking for an extension to its library, let's say. So when you have a digital tool, it will go and hunt those local newsletters, which are all today published electronically on the internet, for specific words. If you are expert, let's say, in swimming pools, you will just put the word swimming pool and go hunt for all those local newspapers, who's talking about the swimming pool, who's asking for a swimming pool, which municipality is actually putting soon the swimming pool as a project, and an RFP will be issued. So you can interfere very early, even before the RFP is out, in order to influence and assist this municipality and have better chance of getting the project. This is an example where looking ahead of any regulation or any law at the municipal level or at the national level will help you take a good position and have a competitive advantage compared to your competitors well early before the RFP is public and the game is already set. So you can influence the rules of the game before the RFP is out. This is one example. The competition, I don't think I need to talk a lot about it. Everybody knows who his competitors are and how to follow up. There are social media, there are Google alerts, there are plenty of tools. But yet again, you need to focus on a given angle, and you need also to look at the environment of your competitor, the suppliers of your competitors, the market of your competitor, which are not necessarily your own suppliers or your own clients. So they might have other activities, they might have new way of doing things. You cannot also keep an eye on daily basis on your competitor website and see every press release which is being published, and every discussion about merger or acquisition. And sometimes the name of your competitor is found in articles not related to him directly. Some merger and acquisition information are sometimes just forecast by experts. Some experts say, well, I think that Toyota will soon buy, let's say, Honda. Those are experts in the industry, and they put scenarios. Those scenarios are very important to you. and you need to capture those scenarios as soon as they are published, and see what scenario is possible, what scenario is totally impossible to happen, and do what if scenario. The idea of external intelligence is to gather intelligence and develop what if scenarios in order to be ready for any surprise coming from the competition. The technology follows the same idea basically. Today there are labs all over the world. There are unfortunately labs doing some medical research in China. The result was not very interesting, but whatever. You need to follow up what's happening in India, what's happening in Brazil, what's happening in Russia, in several industries. Again, there are newsletters, there are professional publications coming in each industry, but some of the news, some of the innovations sometimes come from small entities which are not usually on the radar. Again, only an developed electronic digital tool can help you cover what you need to cover, even if you don't have time, and it will alert you, so you don't have to manually go and check what's going on in India today in the IT industry, or in Brazil in the agro industry, but you will get the alerts whenever there's something really happening, because you can configure your digital tool in the way you want it, and in a customized way that answers your needs. The best practices, of course, we all read McKinsey and such advisory publication, which are in general free online. But again, there's a huge quantity of those, and often they are very interesting, but often you don't have time to go through them all. So you need to see which article is can really be useful to your practice, and just go and capture this article, while maybe distributing the other articles to your team within the organization. So let's say you're in finance, you need to keep an eye on what's the CPA or the large organization are issuing as regulations and best practices. Yet some information that you capture would be interesting for your marketing colleagues, or for your IT colleagues. Here you need also to distribute the information. So intelligence is not only about gathering the collecting the information, but also redistributing it in a smart way within the organization, so anyone can benefit from it, and it's a collective effort to stay competitive. The markets and the research and innovation follow the same path also. Markets are today totally unpredictable. Some events like the COVID shifted the consumption from cars, let's say, and traveling. The travel industry got a very big hit, and all the money that people used to spend on travel, they are spending it on other things. What other things? Here you need to gather information, market research, and see how the PlayStation sales have jumped, let's say, what kind of entertainment, indoor entertainment innovation are coming. I saw recently the in-house training and fitness solution, fully connected with a screen, and all the tools are connected in order for you to measure your efforts and to calculate and to have a coach. So these new kind of service. This is a gym in your house with an instructor, and fully automated and computerized gym machine in order to help you. This is a totally new invention. Nobody would have thought of it if the gym did not close for such long period. So those kind of innovation are context related, and you need to be flexible enough to capture them within their context.
Wow, Omar, thank you so much for this overview of all these different areas of our, I would say, work environment, which probably we didn't think about it, or we didn't dissect it in the way you have explained it. And now I see it much clearer that, this kind of competitive watch is becoming a full-time job, right? To a certain extent, if you really want to to master it. You really want to take actions as well, because at the end of the day, gathering information is one thing, but what to do with the information, right? How
Exactly.
to channel it, how to streamline it, how to analyze it, and how to create maybe a project out of this information will become a full-time job. So now we spoke about the opportunities, and now I want to talk about the challenges, right? Because I gathered all this, and as you said, it might become noise. Even like, for example, let me now here put a challenge, because in the past I used your tool, and I tested it, and we had a discussion about it. And one of the question is that, and I always say this is like true in any kind of software where you put where you are having an input and expecting an output. And I always say garbage in, garbage out, right? So meaning that me as a user, if I don't know what are the keywords which I want to use, how many keywords I need to put, how many topics I need to have, so that I am not overwhelmed. And these are the challenges which I am going to have. Then I am going to drop the whole tool, and I am not going to really follow up on. So you as an expert now, and this is what I really want to hear from you, is what can you give as an advice to our audience, that if they are going to use this kind of tools, like, is there like a rule of thumb, like don't put more than X keywords, don't do more than X topics, maybe do every day you get an alert about one topic and not the other. You have any kind of any advice, so that we feel that you are less overwhelmed and still be so excited to use this kind of tools?
Well, you gave the advice, Mark. That's
No, 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 no.
yeah. Well, two things here. The idea is proposed to individuals and organization. To the individual, a freelance consultant, a subject matter expert, an R&D, a PhD student, we will, the first question or the first advice is know yourself. Know what you need to know what you need to know, and then we can talk. Then we can talk, because where you get the information is closely related to what you need to know, obviously. So this is where we help them build their own portfolio of sources of information, let's say, and develop it in a way that the alerts that they will be receiving are fully and really interesting and useful to their daily work. We do not believe in the quantity of emails, or an email with 20 or 25 titles in the email. This is not the way of doing it. There's a Google alert for this, and I don't think a lot of people rely on Google Alert to stay informed. You have a lot of newsletters coming to your inbox. I doubt you are checking every entry or every article. So you need to really concentrate, and this point of concentration will change with time. So it's not necessarily the same thing all over the year. You might have seasons in your industry. You might have a different center of attention in your knowledge acquisition. If you're a student, you might have a large research program when every month or every quarter you have to concentrate on a particular aspect. So this is a moving target. The idea here is to learn how to collect the information, and rather than just define them and that's it. So it's a learning process. This is on the individual side. On the organization side, the keyword is culture. Create a culture of curiosity, simply. In large organization, everyone has a specific set of tasks and specific knowledge, and they need to get on with it. If anyone in this organization has the curiosity and has the culture of grabbing the information, putting it at the disposal of the group, the information gathered by all those individuals is not added, it's multiplied. Because the challenge is to gather two different information and have the link between them. And this is a collective activity. This is not a one-person activity. A guy in the marketing would be excellent in marketing, and he will be fully informed about the latest best practices in marketing. But if an IT or a software that is disrupting the marketing approach came, he will not be informed about it. This is the IT guy who will say, guys, listen, the natural language processing technology will have consequences on marketing, or the social media ramp up will have consequences on public opinion, on politics, on lobbying. So you need to people from different departments to talk to each other, and the way to bring them together and bring down silos, which are still present in most of large organizations, is really to create a group curiosity and the culture of sharing the information and discussing. Of course, I'm not talking about the discussion around the coffee machine. This is happening in a natural way. The human is a social animal, as we say. So this is happening, but you need to structure this exchange, and the way to structure it is by using a digital tool that will create common folders or common directories and distribute in a smart way the articles, even to people who are not directly influenced by this innovation. So this is the structure of this distribution is really what we help organization create.
This is great, you know, and Omar, I can tell you that in the past when I was working with large organizations, the way we were doing it, like every department was only getting the intelligence or the analysis that is related to their own function, so that not all of us are overwhelmed with lots of information, and then we drop the interest even of reading until the bottom of the page where probably the information that is relevant to me is, and then I will completely forget about it. So some of the internal organizations and structure of who should receive what is very important. Omar, I just want to tell you that while you were talking, I launched another poll, which now we closed, and it was about understanding the behavior for competitive analysis. And the first question was, how often do you get a report about your key competitors? 40% said once a year. And the others were split between once a quarter, once a month, and the weekly alert. Another question was, how easy is it to find relevant information about your competitors? 40% said it's not easy, and 20% said it's extremely difficult. And the others were split between very easy and somehow easy. And then the last question was about the annual budget that is spent on competitive analysis. 60% said that it's zero. They don't spend money on it. So probably they are trying to find free sources, or they are just not doing it. And the others are split between less than $100 and up to $500 a year. You know, for me, this is very interesting insights, because when I look at how easy or difficult it is, and I see that the majority is saying it's not easy or extremely difficult, this is why it's important that they talk to you, right? This is why it's important to try at least to pilot the use of such tools and softwares that are going to bring automation to the competitive watch and analysis, right? So what can you say about these results? Like, if we're talking about budget, if we're talking about time and difficulty, what are your 2 cents around these topics?
Well, I usually ask my clients about their insurance cost.
Uh-huh.
You can compare it to insurance. When you invest as a corporation, you look at the ROI, return on investment. Well, the insurance doesn't have an ROI. You just pay your insurance, because if something happen, you will be covered. Well, you need to look at the external intelligence and the competitive intelligence as a kind of insurance. This is your knowledge insurance. This is your competitive insurance. You are insuring your position in the market when you structure and you invest in a tool or a solution or a methodology in order to keep your staff informed and develop this, let's say, uh, culture of curiosity within your staff. It's not as difficult as it seems, and it is not as expensive as it seems. There are, of course, very advanced tools today in the market which are addressing huge organization and sometimes government. They would cost thousands of dollars per month or per year. There are also other tools that are much less expensive, and they are more adapted to SMEs, small or medium enterprise, or even individuals. We're talking about software as a service, some kind of subscription or monthly subscription. This is our model in Blink. And it will be much easy to spend, let's say, 3 to 4 hours in the beginning in order to organize your folders, define your sources, learn the methodology, and then it will run automatically because it is based on natural language processing. You will not have to read a lot. The machine will read for you, and the machine will identify the keywords in a huge number of articles, and it will highlight you the strange words coming in those articles. I'll give a practical example here. One of our clients is a venture capitalist, and he's always looking for innovation, cryptocurrencies, those kind of opportunities in the market. He has a set of sources of information. He's following up many markets, US, Canada, China, Hong Kong, Japan, and the European Union. So it's a good setup he has. And he's following the articles. He has a methodology of checking by graphically seeing what is building a story, what's gaining momentum, which story is gaining momentum. So he has a process. And the tool will give him the most frequent words coming in those articles on a daily basis. And one morning he saw, when he's checking his cryptocurrency folder, the usual words, cryptocurrency, blockchain, IT, power, electricity, and he sees the brand Kodak. So he clicks on Kodaks to see why Kodak is. Kodak is photography, and he discovered that Kodak has the will to launch a cryptocurrency on its own. So this is how he detected well before everyone else, because Kodak is not on those kind of radars, for people working on innovation or cryptocurrency. You will not look for Kodak or for Honda or for something like this. So he was the first to see that Kodak is talking about launching a cryptocurrency. This is the kind of tool that will immediately let you see as an expert what is strange in those articles, what is really new, and what needs human attention in order to analyze what's behind this.
Wow, this is a great example, Omar. I think not many of us are really how to say aware or sensitive, right, to the anomaly or the anomalies that we're going to get into a text, and then the odd words or something that is not supposed to be there. So why it's there? So I think it's like very, very, very important. We have one participant here, Mahmoud Bizri, is asking if they can have a trial account to compare it to their current system. Is
Yes,
it
of
possible
course.
to give?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
We provide free accounts for trial for 2 months for anyone who asks for it. No problem.
Excellent, very good. So Mahmoud, please, you can either connect directly with me or with Omar at the end of this webinar. I will put here in the chat our contact details a little bit later so that you can reach out to either one of us, and then I will connect you. It's not a problem. So thank
I
you
have
for
another example, Mark,
Yes, go
about
ahead, please.
competition. One of our other clients is in the catering business. so agribusiness and catering. And he's looking for opportunities in addition to his usual catering contracts with large airlines and hotels and hospitals in the area of Montreal and in Quebec in general. And because he is well prepared, he put the competition name as an alert in different media, including medias in the USA. So he's looking at the American market, at the US market, and he's looking to see what his competitors are doing in different states. And he gets an alert that there's a story building up in California about one of his competitor. So he clicks into those articles and he see that there was a poisoning case involving one of his competitor in California, and people started talking about it and attacking his competitor like with his catering service. He immediately took the plane, went to California, met the large client there, and offered him an immediate replacement for his catering contract from Quebec to California. And he won it because he was the first to interfere. As soon as the story came out, he was there. So
Wow.
being reactive and having the right information at the right time can really give you a competitive advantage. And this is the approach of insurance. The comparison with the insurance, if you have the info, you can win big. And if you don't have the info, well, at least you are safe from bad surprises. This is the comparison. It's in fact comparing the competitive watch and external watch at the same time with insurance, but also with the lottery ticket, because you might click, you might be the first to react, and you might win big if you really detect an information at the right time.
Wow, Amar, you are now exciting me to how to say, to get back to it like 100%. You know, I used it. Because we discussed with it about it a long time ago. We piloted but now it's like, you know what? I am missing something. Now I feel that I am not yet complete in my business, because this is extremely important. How to be ahead of the news, right? How
Yeah.
to be the first one to react so that you can gain this competitive advantage, and the advantage of what we call the first movers advantage, right? It's like, if I am the first one to show maybe compassion to a client or to a potential client, and be able to give them something to just ease their pain because we read the news and we understand what it is, I am a winner for sure.
Of course, of course. You know, Kawasaki used to say, ship crap, but ship first.
Yes.
This it used to be Steve Jobs' approach also. Even if your product is not 100% approved, being the first in the market is something very important. So even if you have to improve it later on, hold your position, gain your position, be the first in the market, and then you can release second or the third version, but take your position.
Yes, yes, of course. You know, here I have a very good comment from Rania. Rania, thank you for sharing your thoughts. She said, I like the insurance analogy. I would like to add that it is even more. Insurance is about mitigating negative risks. What you are offering is, it is, but also about detecting positive opportunities. Thank
Exactly.
you,
That is
Rania, for
the
for
lottery.
sharing your thoughts. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
amazing.
this is the lottery analogy. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. You know, I think that Omar, I think that you are onto something. You are onto For sure. You are onto something. You know, I know how startups struggle. I know. We are all owners of small businesses. We're trying to push hard in different markets, but I think you are onto something. And I am sure that you already have clients. You already have people who are piloting the
Yes.
software, um, and you know, I just want it now even more than I wanted it before, after having this discussion. So thank you so much for really bringing all these insights into the topic, because I believe that this topic is not given enough attention. right? We all talk about competitive analysis, and it's all about, yeah, let me do a survey, ask a couple of clients, either qualitative or quantitative, and then, you know, do this analysis and have these nice graphs and whatever, and say, this is my market share. And which I am not saying you shouldn't do it, but I think it's not enough anymore, because it's not giving you the immediacy of the information. This kind of research would need at least a month or two to run the
Definitely.
surveys, then to analyze the result, then to bring it to management, and then to
Definitely.
have time to look at it, and then to take this is 6 months,
Yeah.
and then it's
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
history,
Yeah,
right?
you would be surprised, Mark, by the unawareness of large organizations related to external intelligence. They rely, some of them rely on press releases.
Yeah,
Whatever this old and anachronic could seem, they just rely on external companies who just gather articles or videos now from the mass media and bring them a daily press report. It
yeah.
happens in all organization. I'm willing to bet $100 that nobody in the whole organization is even opening this email. So, you know, you get the email, yeah, you store it or you delete it.
Yes, yes.
This is the outsourcing of on the press. What we have is two parts in Blink. We have the mass media. We have like 600 sources of information, which is the standard. This is the strategic CEO level information that everyone should have on a daily basis. This is what you hear in the news and the large media, CNN, Bloomberg, etc. From this, you can already start looking for the keywords related to your industry. Those are 600 sources. They come standard to any subscriber in Blink. Then you have the personal part, the customized part, where every user will put his own sources of information, be it a Twitter, be it a blog, be it a website, be it whatever electronically published source, and he will be able to build his own portfolio, his own folders, which will not be obviously shared with any other client. So this is the approach we're doing: mass information, mainstream media, and then personalized, highly specialized. If you mix both, you have the whole information ready for you on the screen whenever you want.
Wow, this is really great. And now the thing is that you bring a wealth of experience around it, and then the idea is that I have this information, then people can get back to you and ask you about how do you think they need to exploit this information, how you can help them in streamlining. You know, you gave a great example. I was also in my past life, you know, we both worked in huge organizations where you have 800 employees, 1,000 employees, 3,000 employees. And then we were doing this competitive watch on social media, negative words, positive words against the competition and whatever. So it was like a weekly meeting with the management. But when the information comes, it comes already 1 week late, right? And then by the time we finish the meeting and we ask the team to take actions or to think about a response,
It's
it takes a
history.
couple of days. And then until you start doing it, it's around 15 to 20 days from the initial day where you collected the information. And now something else is happening. And then the other one is complete history. No one is really caring about. And now you are like, in a way, like you're trying to play catch up all the time and trying to respond to something that is not resonating anymore in the market because it's history, right? And this is where I always say, in today's age, in the digital information age, the immediacy of the information and the
Yes.
immediacy of the action
Yes.
is extremely important. Hence, we talk about automation. And then later in May, I think I will have a great guest talking about artificial intelligence in the education industry, and understanding how you do all this kind of automation through artificial intelligence and identity management and this kind of stuff. So we're going to have a great discussion as well. I will have as well with me another great organization, multinational. I will not just spoil the moment. I will announce it later. We're going to talk about cybersecurity as well. And this is tying to what you're saying, because this is all information, right? And then how I am going to understand what is probably false information, fake information, right? And this is extremely important. Amar, I don't know if you noticed,
Yes.
we've been already talking for 54 minutes.
Well, I will happily talk for two
Yeah,
more hours.
yes, I know, I know. Unfortunately, I have a commitment to make these webinars
Yeah,
just
of
for
course.
1 hour. So it's been really a pleasure, Amar. It was
Thank you, Mark,
a
for
great
hosting me.
discussion. I just want to remind all our audience that we are having these weekly webinars every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Atlantic time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So please, if you are interested to watch more topics and to attend our other webinars, follow us on social media, Strategy Up on Facebook, Strategy Up on LinkedIn. You will have all the information about every week. We have the monthly announcement as well there. So from now, you know what's happening in April. So please follow us. Follow Omar. Follow Omar, please, because talk to him directly through me. It doesn't matter because I think he has a great solution to offer. So Omar, I just want to ask you any final thoughts, any final words in 1 minute before we end the session today.
Well, we live in an instantaneous world, so be quick. And if you don't know what to do once you have the information, we do have partners, consulting partner like Strategy Up, among others, who will help you streamline your processes and streamline your decision-making mechanism in order to quickly react to any information you have. So the challenge is not to obtain the information at the right time, but also we will help you directly and with partners to streamline the decision-making process in your organization in order to quickly take action and grab the momentum. It's a minute-by-minute world we live in. So stay alert, and we're here to help. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Amar. I think this is really a great discussion today. I really enjoyed it. I loved the tips which you gave us, the insights, and honestly, I feel that you made me wake up. Although I was very sensitive to the topic because we've been talking for a long time together about this, but now I really woke up and I say, you know what? It's not anymore. If I have time, I need to do competitive analysis and competitive watch. It should be part of my raison d'être, right? It should
Yes.
be part of who I am as an organization so that I can beat competition, right? And this is what we want. We want to outperform, right? This is what we want. We
Of
want
course.
to
Of
reach
course.
excellence. And this is what we really want. So for anyone who was with us today, thank you so much on Zoom and on Facebook. I see here a couple of requests on Zoom asking us to remind you about our future webinars. I will send you a follow-up email, hopefully by tomorrow, to all the ones who participated today here on Zoom. You will have more information. And please follow us on our social network, social media. Everything is posted there. We have like daily, weekly updates. So you will be able to get there. And once you register, as you register today, all registrations are for free. So register to the webinar which you are interested in, and then the system will automatically send you reminders one day before and during the day. So don't worry about that. Amar, I want to thank you. I think this is
You're
all what I
welcome.
have to say today. It was really a great discussion.
Thank you. Again, the free test is open to all. Just visit blinklogics.com. In the bottom of the page, create your own test account. Just create it, and we will take it from there. We will send you the user guide, and we'll help you create your personalized folders.
Very good. Thank you so much. And as Omar said, we are in a way partners in crime. We've been partners for a long time in crime since when did we meet, Omar? I think 2001, right?
2001, then yeah.
Yeah, 2001. Back.
Orange Lebanon, yeah.
Oh my God! And look where we are. Look where we are. 2021.
So we met when we were 7 years old.
Very good. Thank you so much, Amar. And I definitely will stay connected. I want to wish you all a great day. And I hope that I will see you again in our next webinar. Next week, I will have with me Tim Brennan. He's based here in Nova Scotia and going to talk about HR and solutions and digital solutions for HR as well, and how important it is in recruitment and talent management. So this is next week's topic. Thank you so much and have a great day. Goodbye,
Thank you
everyone.
all. Thank you, Mark. Thank you all. Bye-bye.